So I just got done watching the first episode of The Last of Us, and I am already in love with this show. I have been so excited for this show from hearing everything about what this show is doing from the creators of the video game, from the cast, and hearing behind the scenes, seeing behind the scenes photos. I keep telling myself that this is going to be it. This is going to be the video adaptation that we have all been looking for. And for someone who absolutely loves the original Last of Us, which is my favorite video game of all time, I put all my hope into this show. This has been my most anticipated thing for like ever. When it comes to video games, movies, comic books, or just whatever that's supposed to come out this year, I was most anticipated for this. You can ask all my friends, you can ask my dad, how much I have been talking about this show. Like, I can't fucking wait for it. I think that this is finally going to be it. And I just got done watching the first episode, and goddamn, I've never been so right in my goddamn life. We're only on the first episode, and I'm already hooked on it. And I cannot wait to see where else this show goes. I've just never thought a pilot of a show would get me hooked so fast. Every single reference that was in this, I was like, fuck yeah, that's a goddamn reference to the video game. And yes, people are going to say that there's going to be a lot of differences from the games. But look at all the other video game adaptations that we got. There have been so many different differences from the video games and the movies. Look at Resident Evil, look at Mortal Kombat, look at Sonic the Hedgehog. Just making a video game adaptation has been very hard, and usually they never really succeed, and everyone always has mixed reviews on them. There's always the side where people thought it was a great adaptation. There's other people saying that it was absolute trash. I feel that this one is where every fan of The Last of Us and just video games in general will think that this is the best one that we've gotten in years. Like I said, I loved it. I loved the cast of this show. Sure, there was some things that I was a bit weird on, like, why are we doing this right now? But at the same time, I was just hooked. I was just interested to see if they were gonna do the same thing as the video games. There was scenes, legit, taken out of the game. And I've never been so happy about that. I don't know what else to say. That this might be the shortest video I have ever made on just an episode of television. I am so excited to see where else this show goes. And I pray none of the episodes will make me upset or yell at the screen that I just didn't want that. I feel every scene of this show and episode is going to be it. We're finally going to get the video adaptation where we should stop making movies. And it's showing people it's like, stop making fucking movies of video games and make them into TV shows, which is another thing I'm proud of. I'm glad this didn't just turn out to be a movie. This turned out to be a fully fleshed out TV series. Where the first episode was an hour and 20 minutes. It was a full on movie. Like it was about the same runtime as one of the first Resident Evil movies. That's pretty much saying that to every other video game adaptation. Like, oh, you want to become a movie and take out like all the best scenes from the video games? Well, fuck that. We're gonna take every scene from it and make it into a fucking TV show. I feel they need to do that more. And I would be so glad if this turns out to be one of my favorite TV shows ever and my favorite video game adaptation. So, what did you guys think of The Last of Us Episode 1? Did you enjoy this episode? Or for some reason, did you hate it? Are you a big Last of Us fan like me? And I will probably end up putting my review of The Last of Us video game that I reviewed back when the remastered version came out for the PlayStation 5 back in September. But until my next video, take care.